Hi guys, it's me Missy, I'm back, and today I'm going to be playing some more Disco Elysium. Now when we last left off in the game, Kim is gone, I solved a ghost thing that was going on in a store, or a curse or whatever, so that's cool. Um, yeah, I'm just doing random stuff for the day today. But before we get into the game, just want to say, uh, I'm going to butcher this so badly. Ketball, thank you for following me. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for telling me about my sound last time I streamed. I super duper appreciate it. And I guess that's it. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Am I going to challenge this big boy? Um,
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
okay.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
What are we talking about here? I am so confuzzled. Say nothing, size him up first, I guess.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A ripple of muscle passes under his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me.
What? My body does not betray my degeneracy. What do you mean my body betrays my degeneracy? My body is unimportant. I'm with the police and we need to get into the harbor. None of these seem like good options. My body is unimportant. I'm with the police and we need to get into the harbor. We'll go with that.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul.
What?
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, Al You're right, I'm an alcoholic. Now I need to enter the harbor. I don't have a problem with alcohol. I just drink a little on the weekends enough. I need you to open the door to the harbor. Go with the second choice.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
The racist over there point. The racist lorryman, you're just like him after pumping some iron. I am the police. I need you to comply now. The race stuff is unimportant. Here, I just need you to help me do my job, please. Okay, let's try one.
Look at my chronology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race.
What the fuck is going on?
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft.
Okay.
You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture.
Uh-huh.
You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Okay.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back. Push him out of the way. You're right about all this. Now I just need you to let me go into the harbor. The situation is serious. Your people have probably killed a man. I need to talk. Why am I stuttering? I need to talk to your boss. Push him out of the way, or come on, I need you to move about 20 centimeters back. Let's see if this gets me killed. Push him out of the way.
That is right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war.
What is going
Bring your
on?
troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you.
Man, I don't understand
The
you.
walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
Wouldn't that mean I have to become a Seminese supremacist myself?
Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Show him the mug. Actually, no, I guess I shouldn't. Should I, though? I mean, come on. Show him the mug.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
This is your kind of thing.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
Oh, come on. It was a good joke.
He had nothing to do with it.
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
Okie dokie
You
then.
pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
There's more to it. What have you got against them?
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful.
What do you mean?
Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blob.
Endomorphic blob? That is such an insult, my man. What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome
Okay.
to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
Well, lovely.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
Okay,
The
then.
drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be smaller.
Are you sure? I mean, that jaw is clearly in... First one.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
Oh, dear
You have him
God.
off guard now. He's preoccupied with his situation with his woman.
Physical instrument. Let's try it. I'll probably die. I got a success! Oh my god.
Just like that, instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft palate break. The
Okay.
man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sounds of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip.
Rip into him with the right hook. Fuck. I'm dead.
Oh God, wrong move. Your head is in his hands, like a pair of forceps crushing you, and you can feel every jewel.
Say it. I am a degenerate drunk.
How did this happen? I was winning. Try to somehow wiggle yourself from his grasp.
The compression is unbearable. This is causing some serious damage to whatever precious, gelatinous thing is inside there. Your sight turns red.
Okay.
You are a poor player of physical chess.
Let's try that again. I'll probably fail. Yep.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it. It hurts.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it,
Nope.
I am.
I'm a cop, dude.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your brain as he's twisting it more and more.
The words to the song have changed. Say, I am a violent drunk.
No, I won't fucking say anything.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw.
So I'm guessing this is bad.
Very, very bad. This is the end bad.
I shouldn't have pushed my luck. Try to remain cautious.
All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't even see her face. Like you always thought you would. You only see pain and fear. Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him. He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever met. Captain Ptolemy Price, the deceased superior officer, commented. That ain't easy on the ticker.
Okay, we've seen this before. Let's go back to where we were, I guess. Hi, dude.
Your body
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Measurehead. His body touched.
Size him up.
must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle.
Puff out your chest and say nothing.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Dude, you're weird.
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise.
Oh, dear God.
Stop it. You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Okay.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
My body is unimportant.
That is precisely that you
Yeah,
reek
yeah.
of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it. Yes,
He means alcohol.
Do you mean alcohol?
correct. My small skull servant. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you, for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
Uh-huh.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
It's existed since the Neolithic.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and their Rolam Al-Ghul have fed your people. Go on believing in it, race loser.
I don't think that's how history
Why
works.
don't you have another drink? Your features are not yet congenitally deformed enough.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
The babe looks at him with eyes full of admiration that transcends the merely sexual.
This is going well for Measurehead.
Oh, shut up. Enough, I need you to open the door to the harbor.
No, you don't. You need to get another.
Does this
Blah, blah.
remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Let's see. This.
Look at you gave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You win.
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters
It
back.
is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the arbor.
Push him out of the way.
That is right. Bring your you want.
There
Blah,
may
blah,
be
blah.
a peaceful solution to this.
Nope.
Well, not as such. What you do
Physical.
with the mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings.
I
Why?
am.
You pick up on something artificial.
Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blub.
Union
Don't
boss.
be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
Yeah, but you still serve him. How does that factor into your
Mr.
life?
Claire is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, which is something your race naivistic communists never did. Also,
Uh-huh.
to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
My jam is mysterious fourth string.
Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not?
I've gotten
You
it from
have picked
disco,
them up
actually.
from rock and roll songs? Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done.
Uh-huh.
I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
Wonderful. I need to enter the harbor now on police
What
business.
you need is to come to terms with extinction and never getting into this harbor.
Dude, you were such a dick for no reason.
Racists are
Welcome to He Must Think.
I am.
The drawings are
Blah,
precise
blah, blah,
and
blah,
true to
blah.
their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the philo.
This.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thank.
You have him off guard now. He's preoccupied with
Oh,
his
lordy, let's
situation
try
with
this.
his woman.
It's successful.
Just like that, instinct, the man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stand. All you hear
Okay.
is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip.
Let's try this. I can't believe that worked.
The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he still tries to keep his head up, dazed eyes looking at you with unimaginable surprise. To your left is the button.
Just press the button.
As you slam your fist on the button, the man collapses entirely, his head rolling to the side.
Looks like you're the new measurehead now.
I guess so.
Her voice is surprisingly calm.
No, I just want to get into the harbor so I can do my job.
The man is still knocked out. He breathes slowly and steadily.
Okay. Well, time to go back down the stairs. Can't believe that worked. entrance not this way? Is it some other way? Ah, this way. Okay. I'm just crazy. Oh, goody. Every worker equals member of the board is written on top of the flyer. And at the bottom, union logo and demand democracy. This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. Standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be locked. Someone left the coffee machine on. Dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. Magnesium. I have a shit ton of magnesium. I wonder if I'm gonna need it. Visual calculus minus drama. Neat office shades. Thank you. Oop, hold on. Hold it, you bastard.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. It
Browse
is
through the
hundreds
folders.
of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara, and the
Okay.
same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything
It's
interesting?
hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Browse through the
Hundreds of
folders.
documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And you already went through all of these.
try it.
Whatever's
Oh,
hidden
it's a
here
success.
is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at the
It
note.
appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters.
Okay.
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled. Doesn't look too incriminating, but still feels like a find.
Take another look at the
Remember, Leo, all items on the
note.
list.
Okay,
The
close the
drawer
drawer.
slides shut smoothly.
This. We'll have to inspect that later. Giant ass print on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio. Radio is emanating the strange buzzing sounds. Door is locked and cannot be opened from this side without a pass card. Guess you have no choice but to talk to the union leader. Something over here.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
Well, it's only 10 cents. Might as well
The
take it.
machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
That's your muscle memory. Dial a random number.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952, and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993.
Okay.
Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lammy. How may I help you?
the voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lammy.
Do you know me?
No.
No, I meant what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Why did I call
Maybe
you?
you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Maybe, but I don't even know my
If you
name.
need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Okay. There's stairs. I really want to go up there yet, though? Damn, there's so much stuff. Look around the balcony, find your heraldic bird. You have no level ups. I have stuff, though. Interfacing, calculus. Put those on. Minus suggestion. I've read this, I've looked at this. Let's interact with this.
Medicinal purposes of the Pale. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols.
Open the book.
Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the Pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
What's a pharmacopoeia?
You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, Mesk mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors. It's all quackery, in other words. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the Pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies.
Is there anything in there about restoring
There
lost
are a number
memories?
of Seolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition.
I just want something that will soothe the relentless torment of my
What you're
existence.
describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that.
Anything about curing an apocalyptic hangover?
There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot?
All right, book, let's see what you got.
First, you need to choose a base ingredient.
Ginger root.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
Boil it with a tea made from birch bark.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Some wild ginseng root.
The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you flush out the toxins. The ginseng should give you more energy as a nice bonus.
Awesome!
The very thought of this tea causes your muscles to relax and your mind to clear. You're more
Oh my
present
God,
and
look.
in control than you were a moment ago.
Look at that! I did it! I did it! I can't believe I did it! Savor the moment a
A
little
tingle
longer.
rushes down your spine, and you feel your toes uncurl. If only it could always be like this.
Put the book away. That was awesome. Let's interact with this next.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace a path through the grid.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Cypar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North. Finally, coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Put the map away.
Satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
White antlers.
Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it.
Why
Because
this?
Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Okay, interesting. So, flip through the pages, see what
To
catches
your
your eye.
disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After
Interesting.
rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents.
Okay.
The magazine is divided into several sections: international development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the editor's
Comrade,
note.
as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism.
Okay.
But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Interesting.
Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
I'd
So
say.
please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Okay. What should I look at next? I want to catch up on international development.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
Okay.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are.
Okay.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst and Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Okay.
Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you.
No
It
clue.
evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand.
Sure it does.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main
Okay.
feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tourney, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tourney is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers.
Okay.
Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Okay.
So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines: Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka.
Okay.
There's no way those are real names.
Wait, why aren't they real names?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity.
Okay.
Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter.
But then you get to see them
And that precisely
crash.
is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Okay. Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the
You see,
violence.
one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Okay.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Lovely.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbour red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer G. Martin accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation?
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital or their mucilaginous allies in the coalition.
Hold on, what's this about a coalition?
Judging from the context, it's something very large and fundamental. You should probably know about it already, honestly.
Okay.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Put the magazine away. That was it. That was all I had. Let's go talk to this guy. I'm scared he's gonna kill me somehow. What's this?
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back.
Okay.
This is your cloak. You can feel it.
Grab the cloak.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips.
Interesting.
I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
Okay, what's over here? Collecting rainwater. Okay. Hold it. New empty bottles of Commandery Red and Potent Pilsner. Can I not pick any of them up? Take. 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 Money for me! Take it. Anything else here? Doesn't look like it. I don't think you can interact with anything there.
This is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
Okay.
Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
Cute. This way. All around you, great machines and incense. Wild pines. White pine trees are printed on the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. Cool. Ooh, cool. So I'm on the other side of this. That's interesting. Hold it, what's this?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block.
Okay.
Marche. On. Arrête. Off.
Marche.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Okay.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Okay. Is it
The
sugar?
container door appears unmoved by your attempt at flattery. A tough nut to crack for sure, but the strongest containers often have the softest hearts.
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
You've got to dance with the one that brought you, detective.
Okay. Nothing more to do for now. This way. What is this? Oh, no. I had a thing. Shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. What is that? A lot of interesting stuff around here. Speaker tower is silent. There is no work to organize in the yard below. What's over here? Oop. The musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. Smells like blood. What? I can't interact with it? Probably because I need a lockpick or something. Change. Industrial size thermos smells like burnt coffee. The banner sags under the weight of rain and snow, white waves on red. Who are you, dude?
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along.
I noticed.
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Okay.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Tiny man is so engaged in his work he doesn't notice you. Do not interrupt the little man in his joyous activity. Let's not interrupt the little man. Okay. Alright. Shivers. What is that? Connection to Station 41, understanding cop culture. Okay. Let's get more interfacing. They look kind of cool. Suggestion, conceptualization. Electrochemistry. Drama. Fight. Maybe I need suggestion for this. Musical instruments. Okay, that's good enough for now, I guess. Coffee and giant thermoses is still lukewarm. Stair made of pallets leading up. Oh, there's the dude. Taxidermy fish that tells time. Yeah, I guess I gotta talk to him.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you.
Awesome.
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois. It's good of you to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite to his giant desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez.
Okay.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
Uh-huh.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
Bet it is.
Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
I'd rather stand.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
I don't sit, it's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan of Elysium, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Gives you a sly wink. Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say.
Uh-huh.
This should take care of that nonsense.
Points to a giant novelty, whatever on his desk, and it's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
I guess should I take it? I mean, don't really need it right now.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then.
He crosses his arms on his ample midsection and sinks further into his chair.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
We're fine.
When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
I'm not worried. I got
Are
this.
you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
This is a shot in the dark. Can't be retried.
God, you're
Yep,
sweating.
it's a fair.
Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not about to cry. Try to stay cool.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois, he keeps repeating? What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr.
Okay.
Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Keep sliding down the chair like a jello shot. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place. Keep sliding down the chair like a jello shot.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
I'm melting. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use the glass of water. Sit upright. Oh yeah, man, I'm fucking great. Keep sliding. I'm good at I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois. Just keep sliding.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
Okay.
It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Let's talk about the
Oh,
hanging.
of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, let's blow
But
it open.
I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're a police officer, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Opened a few doors in my
And
life.
I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Damn it, fine. I'll look into it. We can just walk about the murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
Licks his
You can get the
fingers.
key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Met Joyce, the company
Oh,
representative.
that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along.
Not
One
really,
thing I
no.
want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy.
Okay.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
What happened to the previous negotiator?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
Made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that
He's an
go?
old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Call them a
Harry,
midget.
I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Joyce, the previous union leader, vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Yes, please, Harry. Feel free to speak your mind or ask me anything.
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
Okay.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Yep. Ever Joyce seems to think union is lowballing her.
Lowballing, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
Okay.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Are you sure? I find it odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Okay then. Positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions.
Yes, I do.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
Okay.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
Something special about it. It was attached to the Kuzlan
Harry, you
crane.
smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Uh-huh.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
You call me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
So that's really my name?
God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
It
I don't
might
know.
be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
My memory is fine. I'm just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips.
Yes, they do. But, how much can you trust him?
I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Yeah, no harm
It's
done.
just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
He could be lying for all you know.
You must have questions, Harry. Come on now. Don't be shy. Let's hear them.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Let's get this straight. What is my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
Okay, I like it. I can work with
And
it.
I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you?
What kind of cop does it say I am?
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
What? I'm not apologetic. I'm confident. And I am an apologetic cop. Who cares?
Yes. You seem to be. A lot of the time. But right now, there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you.
Okay. Red skill check. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids?
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
Never mind the family.
Harry, is the most important thing in the world.
Have another look at the folder.
As you look
And
at
it's
the
a
folder,
success.
Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
That's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau and everything else from your behavior here in Martinez.
But I really got you good there for a moment, didn't I, Harry? Now, what can I do for you?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you.
Yep, that's
A
true.
pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois?
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
He didn't like being called out on his bullshit. Aren't you gonna ask me how I got in?
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window.
Oh, goody.
Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard?
You don't have a window, my man.
It was a figure of speech, Harry. Of course I don't have a window. I'm in a container. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Okay, let's talk about my lost
Yes,
gun then.
your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
Yeah, you're gonna plant it somewhere, aren't
The
you?
only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Can you really hold my gun
Who
hostage?
knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Does this mean if I do things for you, I'll get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means.
Okay. So much shit.
Wait.
Goodbye.
You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great, wouldn't get stuck in here.
You're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
Yeah, sure I am. Sure. Set out this way. Okay, let's head back. And I should get interfacing up, I guess. I could get rhetoric up. Level up rhetoric. Okay. Let's go all the way over here. Let's go back to this thing. Means Will Fjord in Aridun. Okay. Tools. Pry bar.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
We'll leave it alone for now. Okay, let's leave. I cannot believe that I just beat up Measurehead. These 3 packs worth of cigarette butts. Okay. Let's leave. I should probably pay off the stuff at the Whirling and Rags, and I should also sell all of these bottles at Treats. I'll go there in just a second.
The tear machine stand. Your bottles
Insert your
clump into
bottles.
the machine. And do you know what
120.
you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. Enter the endless cycle of consumption.
Yeah, no. Let's go. Okay. Get this out of my hand. It's over here.
lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Look at the
The
window.
windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What kind of stickers and insignia?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
Okay.
A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy rays. It is the seal of Royalist-era Revachol.
What about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Okay.
A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
No, okay. Anything for this one? No. Nothing here either.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Snap your fingers in front of
Where
her face.
am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality. Are you all right, ma'am? You were out.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Your boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff?
It's for important police business,
I'm starting
ma'am.
to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Now the other
Just
one,
before
please.
Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
There's no aberration in the pattern that you can see. She puts her foot down.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
I agree.
Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence Franco Negro, which happened 500 years ago.
But what do you mean it was the coronation of Franco Negro?
It was. And then it was no more. And I was no longer holding my father's hand. He was no longer descending the stairs in Ryle. The crowd had gone silent.
Okay.
Perhaps it was another Sheriff who came and woke me up, looking at my boots, asking questions. Or perhaps it was one of the others in this carnival. I don't remember.
As she says carnival, she gestures to the empty square with the statue and the machines.
These are not the boots I was looking for.
The feet of a little girl. They fit well on the pedals.
Still don't understand this whole, like, thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
Okay.
The boyadero, boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. He is a rugged individualist and explorer.
Okay, what's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
I'm guessing that doesn't happen.
Of course not. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
I can see where this is
So
going.
the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Maigret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
That's only that's a beautiful song.
The most beautiful. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero.
Before I came, you seemed off.
What do you mean?
You were in a dream and active, turned off.
Yes? What about it?
Okay. Should you drive a lorry if you get like that?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will.
What routes?
Lomonosov's Land, Udajnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
She closes her eyes again, letting her mind
The
submerge.
Transcatlia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly.
She opens her eyes again and shudders. I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself.
You're right, Loman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
Ah,
A
thank
correct
you.
appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
Nope. What are you hauling? You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about
What
drugs.
do I need drugs for, Loman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare.
The great adversary?
Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Okay.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary. The great unrest.
That's not really what I was
Then
getting
what
at.
were you getting at?
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
I've read
Who
something.
the fuck is Irat?
The union boss.
And what do I care about the union boss? He's no Gabriel. He's no Franco Negro. He's not even Hermenegildo the Hunt.
Okay, let me put it this way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
How can you not know what you're hauling in your
Just
own
this
lorry?
month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Loman?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking you.
It's diamonds, Loman, obviously.
If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around
Easy.
here?
He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Okay, if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, why are you still
Where
here?
do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the futures of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree.
Interesting.
Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Diamonds,
Of
really?
course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, but what are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what they put in your
I
lorry?
quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Wait, you get high off driving a lorry?
It's so much more than a high where I go, Herife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
She closes her eyes in reverie.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later.
What if the cargo is contraband?
Then it's contraband, Lowman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Okay.
Bad Hand Hermenegildos's bad hand strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Thank you for now.
Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Voice trails off. Okay. Can't go anywhere over here. Let's do it again.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
Snow limbo. Okay, dude. I'm trying to find the lorry that has the drugs in it, but I'm having a little bit of a hard time. Change! Okay.
Went native on the chief, huh? Those ballerina antics were reckless. Should have just punched him in the throat again.
Trust me, I tried that. It didn't work the first time.
Let's talk about our right to work.
What about it? You're right to
You
work.
here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down?
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides,
Okay.
we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of cause are we talking about?
Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their families.
Okay.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases.
I think I've chosen any sides
Might
yet.
be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers.
Okay.
I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you!
Okay.
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
Points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scott.
Lording man hollers in return. What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his workers' overalls. What did strikes?
Beats me.
Strikers want.
They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting, what does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Where are these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
Man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you were unable to breach the entrance.
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel.
Okay.
And I don't mean the scrawny mesk punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Wait, you can't get past Measurehead? But I got by Measurehead, I kicked him in the face.
Yeah. I saw your ballerina moves up there. In a real fight, these acrobatics will get you killed faster than a bullet.
Okay.
You caught him off guard. That only happens once. Now he's alert, standing on a narrow bridge, and my men are tired and hungry.
Have you considered storming in, like all of you?
Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
So what are you gonna do now?
Wait! They might go home eventually, or get drunk. Leave the access panel unguarded, or the company sends someone to reason with them. Unexpected situation, but we hold the pressure on until someone makes a mistake. Then it's our time. We strike.
I'm gonna leave now. Okay, nice to know, my man. Okay, I should probably...
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Visual calculus.
The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager.
What happened
The
next?
driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building.
Okay.
Before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
This is significant somehow. Oh no!
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps.
This is
Fortunately,
significant
the
somehow.
street sweeper still hasn't noticed their presence. Maybe, probably, an ominous warning of bad things ahead.
I guess so. Oh, hold on. If it started here, went here, and then turned this way, could it be that it's one of the, cars over here? One of them? Okay, so I can't see anything about that. Fine. I thought I might have been on the right track. And let's talk to this dude. It's all about money, you know. I spend money to make money.
Just a moment, officer. And there's no public phones nearby?
She's agitated and keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. Now then.
Day, ma'am, everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead, too.
What's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Mm-hmm. What did you need the phone
to
for?
Let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Okay.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel. Oh, forgive me for not introducing myself. My name is Lena. My husband and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
Okay.
But you have more important things to worry about.
What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect.
Cool.
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
No clue.
The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who's the scary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The waterlock on the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the waterlock?
Probably just some technical problem.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. You've spared me another sleepless night.
Well, you're welcome, lady. Always here to
sweetie,
help.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation happens to take you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
I will.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
That'll be fun.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here when or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Very welcome. So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. a zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's really just a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious.
Cool.
Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
Lovely.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Cool. Tell me more about looks, characteristics, that kind of
stuff. Oh dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
What does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information.
Let's try again. Why don't you try describing him as you would one of your cryptids?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
Okay.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
Okay, how long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn.
Aw.
Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did you two meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced.
Oh.
We hit it off, and well, here we are.
That's cute.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think that's all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
No, I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah, yes. Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast.
Cool.
Hence, it's named the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering it with us, officer.
She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
There's a touch of awe in the way she enunciates the creature's name.
What makes you think this phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Well, that's strong evidence.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
You seem really excited about this cryptid.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses.
So is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it have cool powers?
Yes. It can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Centuries, even.
Okay, what's so special about this stick bug,
Oh, dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
I think it's very special. I'm enjoying this conversation. This is so cool. You're great.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids.
There's really no
Success.
point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey, Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
What's the biggest
That
cryptid?
would be the giant of Coconur.
She says as if it's common knowledge.
The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Coconur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
What do you mean, strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
She does not elaborate the nature of this luminance further. And just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
Whoa. Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Coconur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
Interesting.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Coconur must be the largest animal the planet can support.
Cool.
There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Coconur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Great. This is great shit. You need more.
I agree.
Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
What's the tiniest cryptid?
Cryobacter catlensis.
Cryobacter calensis.
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
What's so special about it?
Bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. Certainly from before recorded history.
Cool.
Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study. No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Wait, she injected herself with it?
Yes. The bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
You mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world?
Yes, and she's quite mad, too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away.
Okay.
We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
What's the most dangerous cryptid? That was also a very cool story.
The gnome of Jeroma.
She pauses for effect. Gnome of Jeroma, that doesn't sound too bad.
It is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
Jesus. What did this cryptid look like?
It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and an ungainly little thing. Quite scary to look at.
I bet.
A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
Are there any photos of it?
Alas, no. And the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
That's kind of sad.
Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
That was a perfectly good explanation. Stop being so skeptical.
Sure, a perfectly good explanation. It dissolved in its own venom. Go on then. Ask about more gnomes or whatever.
Are there any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
What's that?
The Col de Mama d'Aqua, or Thin Whisper of Sound. And that's precisely what it seems to be. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. It's very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
Okay.
Col de Mama d'Aqua can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
Whisper light and low.
Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they?
Yes.
Although the low part is a little ironic. The Col de Mama d'Aqua makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere all of the time, and we wouldn't know.
How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
What evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing.
Okay.
When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
Snot
The
eagerly.
scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest-pitched bat calls.
Interesting.
She transforms, when speaking about these strange animals, into a confident woman.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Col de Mama d'Aqua, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
Whoa!
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
Name them.
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mama d'Aqua they followed individually.
Why are the Mama d'Aqua so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
What?
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama d'Aquas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing. Psst. They cancel each other out.
They cancel each other out.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
Oh, God.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Koltama Madakwa population anywhere.
Could it be here?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
Interesting. What about?
What about what?
This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
You don't notice this about me, but actually I have lost all memory of the world and myself, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Surely things can't be that bad?
You sense that she won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Hope you're right. I hope it's not too bad.
You know where we are, right?
We're in the Whirling in Rags cafeteria.
That's right. And where is the Whirling itself located?
In Revshall?
Yes, indeed. We are in the fine city of Revshall.
All I know is that Revshall used to be really cool in the 30s.
The new disco dancing. It seems like a lifetime ago.
Her eyes are filled with light reflected off those gilded years, and the city seemed full of possibility.
Much has changed, but it is still the most beautiful city in the world. A rare jewel set in the sand between the pines. Everyone says so, even foreigners.
There's a pause. She studies your expression. You must look quite lost.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
Spring of 51?
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Aww.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Some kind of democracy, maybe? I like to think it's the dictatorship of the whatever, but something tells me it's not. Our leaders are fierce warriors who traverse the plains on steeds. We are governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a badass visionary. Radios are being used to control people's minds and distort our perception of reality, concealing our true masters, foreigners, and women. We are living under the cop regime. Some kind of democracy, maybe.
No, sadly not. Revshall is what's called a zone of control under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is market-driven.
Lovely.
Meaning, buying is voting.
There's no government. How are there cops?
Oh, dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't really any cops in Revshall, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution.
Okay.
But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
So how did I do?
You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things, history and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd.
I agree, it is very odd. What is the revolution you mentioned?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new. Something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
What does that have to do with there not being any cops?
It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
Bless your heart for trying. You could tell me more.
Someone more educated in these things than me? Someone rich, maybe. Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
Thanks.
But thank you, sweetie. You did make me forget about my worries for a while.
She smiles at you, but concern is creeping back into her expression. I'll find him. That's all for now, ma'am.
Wow, so someone's been a little boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
I like brown.
Of course you do. And maybe some black shoes or a pristine white shirt to go with that. It's official. My lord's copotype is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
Wait, this will be my coppa type now?
Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits.
Why not send out the telefax then? I'm not ashamed.
Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic.
Hey, dude.
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight.
Got the 20 real? Good.
Yep.
You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Thanks, man. Going upstairs. Can I go this way?
The door is closed.
Try the handle.
This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
Why are you doing this? Don't do this to me.
The door is mute and indifferent. Your despair is a joke to it.
Knock
Still
again.
no answer.
Knock again, much
Still
harder.
nothing.
Ah.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
The what now?
The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It wants smokes.
Am I a smoker?
Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously.
But she broke it at the filter. I can't smoke
How
that.
very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Then smoke them all.
Well, I'll think about it.
Good. Thinking about yummy cigarettes in your mouth is the next best thing. Make sure you think about juicy sticks of tobacco all the time, though. It doesn't count if it's not all the time. And when you're done thinking about them, graduate to getting them. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
Can't pick the lock. Let's go in here. I'm able to pick anything up. Bottle. Bottle. Words fail to describe how rank it smells in here. They should have scent of poet. Can't get in there. Pick this up. Pick this up. Pick this one up. That up. I think that's it. Head down the steps. And let's head out to Fritz.
Was that? Could it be? The Col de Mamadakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear.
Is it? Is there a ringing? Listen more closely.
There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. But, admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then, isn't there always?
Listen closely first.
There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species.
Keep listening.
It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder.
Hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder.
Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just
No,
the
come back,
sound of the
please.
streets. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Cool. Okay, let's go drop off some bottles.
The tear machine. Your
Insert,
bottle's clumped. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should...
Nope, I'm good. Okay, let's get rid of this bag. Items. Kind green ape pen. Pen with a green ape head on one end. The ape has closed its eyes, a kind expression adorning its face. It seems to be meditating. Cool. I'm gonna keep the pen. I like the pen. The pen is cute. Map. Cool. So I'm in this little area here. But there's a whole other area I haven't even found yet. Pain threshold medium. Apple. Hanged man. Okay. Tasks. Okay, let's head to that one guy. The pawn shop. Let's sell this picture real quick. Hello, dude.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Something
Sure. Let me have a look.
Clothes. Pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
This. this. Keep this for now, and we'll keep this. Okay. Thanks, man.
Another time, perhaps.
Nice. Okay, so I have 781. My thing is paid for tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, tonight. Sleep. Tomorrow, this is supposed to be fixed. Ooh, 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 ooh. What is...
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted.
What is Samaran butter?
Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it.
Okay.
Goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than cows, and the local goat farmers produce high-quality meat and dairy staples that add variety to other nations' diets.
Interesting.
It's an acquired taste.
Okay, visual calculus, do your thing.
Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle.
Interesting.
These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier, in front of the whirling rags.
Look at the crater.
Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers an hour.
Look at the roof of the shack.
The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack.
Look at the sloping metal roof panel.
The panel served as a takeoff ramp.
Look at the broken posts.
The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then it continued its flight, taking the billboard with it.
Look at the sign.
The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The Samaran butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting it took the plunge recently.
How recently?
Within the past 72 hours.
Look at the opposite bank.
Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the coast.
What was the model of this phantom vehicle?
There are two good candidates, the Caprice 40 and the Linear G22.
Why the Caprice?
It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage.
Okay.
The Caprice 40 is a very popular model, with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers, cops, strippers dressed as cops, undressed strippers.
What about the other one?
Very sturdy but light motor carriage. More likely than most to survive that jump. The Linear G22 is not a particularly popular model due to its peculiar proportions, which the manufacturer's design team probably thought about for too long.
What now?
You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure.
Link.
A rusting control panel. This panel usually you pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then nothing happens.
Release
The
the
spring
lever.
brings the lever back to it. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality?
Yes, Monday, I know. Oh, not Monday, Wednesday. Brain's losing. I'm losing my mind. My brain's losing its mind. We're all losing our minds here. We're all just mad. Anything of interest? Up there. Okay.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy?
that sounds off.
Save the economy? What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
It doesn't make any sense. Why exactly does the economy need saving?
Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children?
Look, man, I just want to buy some clothes.
That's good, officer. That's exactly what the economy wants you to do.
Browse through the box.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Okay.
The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no money.
Cool.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
Okay, man, go.
Something cold
And it's a
grazes
success.
your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces.
Lovely.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
I'll leave for now. Okay, there's nothing here. This way. How much was that book about cockatoos? This one.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
Let's try it.
Slowly,
Yep,
you move
failure.
Sir, no touching the merchandise. People like their books pristine, not handled by God knows who.
It's not a lot of money.
Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that around.
Yeah, let's leave this little store. Eventually, I'll buy a board game. There's that kid. I'll interact with that in a little bit. Keep going this way. What's this?
a stone like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it.
Turn it over.
There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
Awesome.
Looks like it could belong to the building's front door.
Stone back. Anything else of interest here?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. This must be the door Everard mentioned. You still need to get the key from Anyana first, though.
I'll get the key eventually. All this stuff. And a ton of these, too. Leave. Let's go back to Mañana and get that key from him. I've had a thought.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
Case solved.
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what did I crack exactly?
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
Is her husband the missing husband?
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing, though?
This doesn't add up. I'm only making a fool of
Do
myself.
marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later.
This is nonsense.
Not honorable, recruit. Not honorable at all.
Okay, let's go talk to Manana real quick. This dude. Hi, man.
So, how'd you...
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man, too, probably.
Was it nice? It was nice enough.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
Okay. You know, solemnly then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face.
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Any idea who killed the
The
hangman?
mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
The Merc was hanging with a very specific type of cargo boat, one often used in heavy transport areas, for example, harbors.
What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Pushed how?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
Hold on, hold up, what does that mean?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
Did you kill
I
him?
ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Thank you, this has been of limited use.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
Everett said you have a key to a door.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
Said it belonged to a weasel.
Oh, say no more. I got you.
Okay.
I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I'm not opening the store. I'm not opening the store for myself. Oh, working man. Not really doing this for political reasons.
So none of the above type, are you? I get it. I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks.
Sure it is.
What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Where'd you get the key
The
from?
janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter.
Okay.
None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task, this weasel person, when he'll get home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
The man takes a big sip from his flask.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard.
Well, that could be to my advantage.
Who he is, and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share.
You share?
Aye.
He's pleased with himself. Wait, so not wages or pensions or...
This stuff. They already covered.
Shouldn't you be grateful then? It's a lot more than most people have.
Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece.
How large a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
Uh-huh.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in Southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Bossman Everett, what can you tell me about him? Are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
But you shouldn't take what's not yours.
Then how can anything ever be mine? But that's okay. We don't have to agree. The prairie is wide enough for all of us.
The Bossman Everett, what can you tell me about him?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does bossing the union entail anyway?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties. Watches out for his own.
You mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world...
What?
The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
Desk seems lavish to me.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion.
Uh-huh.
Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political situation.
Sure. I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
Spreads his arms wide, using the reach to show how much time he has. Fortunately, there's time, yeah.
The look in his brown eyes
I don't
conjures
like...
up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing.
Good for him.
It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool.
Okay.
That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Maybe I am.
No.
What?
No.
Aww.
The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be. An endless torrent of time.
Good talk to you, gotta run.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here, I'd say.
The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you, it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. Incrementally. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little speed. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe.
Uh-huh.
Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national.
Okay.
It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
That's fine. I still want to live for the present, though.
What you want is immaterial. The kingdom of conscience is coming, whether you like it or not. Only very slowly.
Okay. Let's go this way. And we're gonna go to the Whirling in Rags backyard again. Wrong side. There's these brat kids. Let's head all the way to the back. Come on. Ah! The book appears to be erotica, but without actual erotica. Okay. If Kim was here, he'd probably be bitching about how I run around everywhere. Okay, we are going to stand here, and we are going to read that new book. Book about different cockatoo species and their behavioral problems. Perhaps it could also offer some insight into your own often problematic actions. Spectacular, major, majestic cockatoo eyes you from the cover.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues.
Okay, what more?
This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang-bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated.
Okay, what problems do these birds have?
Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk, and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up.
I could handle that. It would be nice to have someone to talk to when feeling lonely.
Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive.
Right, that's pretty bad. Anything else?
It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own.
Yes, but there has to be something great about cockatoos as well.
You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels.
Lovely.
Ouch. That must hurt. Not great for the neighbors.
Nope.
Performing? Yes, birdie.
Wait, about funeral cockatoo?
This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it.
Cool.
Ooh.
What about the major majestic cockatoo?
Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species.
Read about the most common bang bang cockatoo.
Despite its banging name, the bang bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly gray and white. The Seminoles name, bang bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins.
Honestly, this bird does sound a bit like me.
Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
The gray and common bang bang, that's me. Only the funeral cockatoo in its darkness can truly grasp the depths of my doom-laden soul. Isn't it obvious, major majestic? Here I come. But what if I am just a fuck up and a cockatoo? Funeral cockatoo.
You're right. You're Psittacus venereus embodied. This ominous bird belongs on your heraldry.
Put the book away. And look at that. Awesome. Glad we got that. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end this here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I had a lot of fun. If you want to see previous streams that I've done, go check out my YouTube channel. Link is in my bio. If you guys want to see previous streams. I've already said that. My brain is so today.